call to order the August 5th, 2015 Board of Zoning Appeals for Plain Township meeting. It is now 6 p.m. I am going to bypass the introduction of members and the reading of the statement of duties in the interest of time. Are there any changes to the agenda from the board? If not, it stands as presented. Do I have a motion for approval of the minutes from the July 1st meeting, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call vote.
Mussolini's.
Yes.
Reichel.
Abstain.
Carpenter.
Yes.
Beck.
Yes.
Sutton.
Yes. There is no unfinished business. I will now read the appeal for the issue before the board this evening. This is appeal number 1244-15. Applicant and owner, Northeast Developmental Services, attorney Larry Powell, 7790 Market Avenue North, Canton, Ohio 44721, requests a conditional use permit for an extensive recreational facility on the vacant lot north of 7790 Market Avenue North, Canton, Ohio 44721, parcel number 52-19114. Conditional use permit for an extensive recreational facility. Article 7, Section 701.2b, conditionally permitted uses. The property is zoned RR, Rural Residential / B1 Neighborhood Business Districts, and is located in the northeast quarter of Section 3. I will now read into the minutes the comments from the fire department. This is the request for variance has been reviewed and there are no recommendations or suggestions regarding the appeal. Scott Kelly, Inspector, Division of Inspections and Investigations. For all individuals who will be speaking before the board, would you please stand and raise your right hand so I may administer the oath? Do you swear or affirm that the information you are about to present is true and accurate to the best of your knowledge and belief? Thank you. Okay, we shall begin with the applicant stating the reasons for the appeal, please.
Good evening, everyone.
If none of you have signed in when you do come up to speak, please make sure you sign in at the podium.
Yeah, my name is Larry Powell. I'm the founder and president of Northeast Developmental Services. Our services are certified through the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities, and we work closely with the Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I'm here tonight to offer information, discuss any concerns you may have regarding the proposed conditional use for the 44 acres on Market Avenue. If I could, I'd like to tell you a little bit of history about the company and how we came to what we're doing and why we're proposing for the conditional use. Our company provides what are called HPC services. It's basically support services for individuals with developmental disabilities. We serve a wide variety of individuals with autism, Asperger's, traumatic brain injuries, cerebral palsy, and we do this through, we have 13 homes in the Plain Township in North Canton area, and we have 33 individuals currently in our care, and we employ 72 staff that maintains the homes and takes care of them and does all the day-to-day things like with residential living arrangements, which consist of ensuring the individual's ongoing everyday needs are well taken care of, assisting with medical appointments, shopping, community activities, which we feel is a vital part of everyday life of the individuals we have in our care, is through community membership, doing things in the community. We've grown over the past 14 years into a company that has the honor of currently having 33 individuals in our care, amongst 13 homes. Over the years, we've become very well respected, and I take great pride in that. As I mentioned, we now have 33 individuals in our care, but that was a methodical approach to growth. We felt it was getting too big too fast, wasn't the right path for us. So, which brings us to why we're here tonight. We are seeking your approval to obtain a conditional use for the property on Market Avenue. I've been with Carolyn's Street for much of my career, long before I founded Northeast Developmental Service, and over the years have developed passion and providing for others. Because of this, I had a bit of a vision. We see a place where members of our community, with or without disabilities, can go and feel at home. We would like to build an indoor recreation center and have a day program for the individuals to come and attend, and an outdoor driving range. This development would provide a multitude of new opportunities for people. It will provide new jobs. It will provide a community with access to indoor and outdoor recreation facilities and a relaxing place to feel at home. I'd also like to state right now from the beginning, this would be built with the idea of making it as natural as possible and relaxed. We're looking at the 24 acres, the range that we're going to put going northeast. It's going to be roughly about 3 to 4 acres, and then we're building a parking lot we're going to set would be additional acres. So out of that 24 acres, we're leaving the rest of it's going to remain natural. There'll be nothing in the allotment east of the market house. Okay, no access from Beverly or any of them roads opening up back there. Everything will be right north of the fire department coming in to the facility we propose to construct there. So that's what we're looking to do.
Okay.
As you can tell, I'm not wanting to get some. Feel like I'm in a Shark Tank here. You know? You ask you all for $100,000 and you get 15% of the state, maybe? No. Yeah, that's basically what we're attempting to do there. I don't want to start rambling, but it's more than a recreation center. Okay. My father was born and raised in Cairo. He used to run around those fields as a child. A lot of heritage up in the North Canton area. Grandpa was in the North Canton Heritage Society book. He played football back in the Hoover Company. He had a baseball and football team back in the 1918 circa. My great-grandmother was an immigrant from Germany and lived down there in Cairo she lived from 1863 to 1963. My dad's second cousins were the original founders of Edgewood Golf Course, the Bishop Brothers. There's a lot of attachment to not only that area. I've had a home up there since 1988, and it's a lot more than just going in there and plunking a rec facility down. There's a lot more to it. We take great pride in all the homes that we have for the individuals. We maintain them very well. I think this will be a real asset for the community. Aesthetically, like I say, we're going to keep everything as natural as we possibly can. No disturbance of anyone. It's been well thought out. Okay, so that's pretty much why we're here.
Thank you. Are there any questions for this gentleman from the board?
Usually, typically we hear anyone else speaking in favor of the proposal.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there anyone else here to speak in favor of the appeal? Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Jason Bussey. I'm operations manager for the agency. One of the things that I wanted to speak to was, while there would be a lot of activities, I previously coached Special Olympics sports, was quite involved in that, and oftentimes we're looking for adequate facilities to use, and that would be something that we're pushing for with this property. But also there will be a need coming in the next, it's 6 to 9 years down the road, but it's starting now, of day programs for individuals with developmental disabilities to get out in the community and work a community job, not be in the workshops like they were. In fact, the number I've seen anywhere from 2021 up to 2024, there will not be workshops anymore. That's the vision we've been given from people within the county. So this would allow us to have a facility for individuals to work at based upon their specific needs. We have a current day program. We have guys who enjoy doing office work type paperwork. We do some mailings for the Convention and Visitors Bureau of Stark County. We have individuals who enjoy doing landscaping work, and staff works along with them to achieve those goals. And guys take great pride in that work that they do. They can bring their parents over if there's something going on and say, hey, yeah, I did that kind of work. It's a really great thing for them to speak to. And so it gives this facility would give a different niche for a whole lot of people just within that realm. And again, it would give the opportunity for individuals for their health also. They could come work out, they could come, and that's going to be different for each person. There are going to be individuals, because we've had individuals in our care who come, they might lift some weights, some of them might just walk, some of them might shoot some baskets. But it will be better for their lives to be involved in things. And we also see that individuals being involved in the community and being out doing stuff, we tend to see that that is very productive for the individuals. I know myself, we've had a couple rough winters. We stay inside a lot. It changes everything for how our mood is on a daily basis, and it's the same for these individuals in that way. And they just want to be out doing their activities just like you or I would. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Is there anyone else to speak in favor of the appeal?
Good evening. My name is Connie Calhoun. I'm a parent of one of the boys that are at the development center. One thing that I've been around a little bit, I'm an advocate for people with disabilities, and I've seen a lot of facilities where kids just sit. I don't want my son to just sit. I want my son to be able to go out and exercise. Can you imagine what it's like to have somebody sitting in a house all the time, not doing anything? They can't go out and do the things they want to in the community because sometimes they're not accepted there. I've watched Larry work really hard trying to get other facilities to give us some time, and when we get something, the one that I'm thinking of in particular, I watched it for a while myself because I was close to the facility. They would get an hour once a week. That hour ended up being down to nothing, or they would make excuses or just say that they needed that hour for something else that's coming up. He gets his facility, he doesn't have to go through that anymore. That really makes me angry when I see kids have to shorten their time. That means during the winter, that's when you don't have anything to do, and the kids don't have anything to do. So this, I'm with him with this. I want to share his dream. He's discussed it with me, and I told him to go for it. Don't give up his dream. Don't give up.
Thank you. Anyone else speak in favor of the appeal? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to the appeal? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Susan Peterson. My husband and I own the property adjacent to the proposed development at the end of Beverly Avenue, 7865 Beverly. First, let me say that during my working career, I was very involved with the MRDD population as a supervisor for the Bureau of Vocational Rehabilitation, which now goes by another name, but it was our job to help find community employment for these individuals. I understand the sheltered workshops are now being closed, and that there is a need for people to have these types of facilities where they can go during the daytime and have something meaningful to do and work. Not all of them are employable in the community. So my primary objection is not to the building Mr. Powell's proposing or the development of disabled. It primarily relates to the golf driving range, which would be adjacent to our property. I reviewed the site map and the text of his proposal, and to me it's very vague. And I understand that this will be a future development. But there are several things about it that bother me. According to the regulations pertaining to conditionally permissible uses, according to the Plain Township zoning resolutions, in section 1102, it says all structures and activity areas will be located 50 feet from all property lines. I didn't see this on the map. All I saw was a tee box in the corner with really nothing to say how far it would be. The township section 11.2 also says a buffer yard of 20 feet shall be provided in accordance with requirements. And I would like to see that the buffer zone of at least 20 feet be there. This is a wooded area, and there are trees that are probably 20 feet tall in some areas that would buffer the noise of machines and golf balls being hit. And we would like to see that included in the proposal. Also, I question the need for a golf driving range in this community. In the July issue of the About magazine published by the repository, page 42, and I have that if you'd like to look at it. There are many golf courses closing now because there's less demand for golf in the area. And many of the courses in Stark County already have driving ranges and chicken cutting areas. So I really don't see that there's a need in the community for that type of business. Because our neighborhood, it's an older, quiet neighborhood, and we think that rural residential is the only needs that this property should have. It would eliminate the wildlife habitat that exists there. We have deer in our yard frequently, and we enjoy that. They're quiet. They don't bother anything. So we would like to maintain it as that kind of a natural environment. But my main opposition is to the golf driving range. Would you like to see the magazine that
I've read it. I read the article. Yes.
Okay.
In fact, it features the sanctuary in there, I believe, which
It
is.
features a lot of different golf courses. Some are still slated to close, like Camelshire.
Yes.
But Skyland Pines has an excellent driving range. And it's not usually busy. So there are some that are located, Seven Hills and Hardin, Township. There are many that are located around here.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak against the appeal? Are there any questions from the members of the board?
Yes, any questions? Mr. Powell or whoever?
May I address the board?
I believe you shut that down to,
Mike's the engineer.
I was going to address her comments that maybe.
well, that'll be one of my questions, and maybe he can answer
Yeah.
Yes.
relative to that. You come up, Mr. Powell?
You, we both come up?
Sure.
He's got the setbacks and everything in his drawing.
One of the issues in issuing a conditional use certificate is that we're not rezoning the property, so we really can't take into account, any of those issues. But they do have to meet certain requirements that the township has adopted, and some of those are identified in section 1102, and specifically those that relate to the extensive recreational facility that they're adopting. So there are some questions that I have relative to that. It does indicate that all structures and activity areas should be located at least 100 feet from all property lines. And when I reviewed the map relative to the driving range, it appeared as if the tee box was at least 100 feet from the property line.
It is 100 feet from the southern property line, yes.
And having indicated that it's 100 feet, what type of landscape buffer are you intending to do there? I'm not familiar with it.
There's a lot of natural stuff already there.
So is your
There's
intention to
anything-
leave it there?
Oh, yeah, that's what the only thing, on this property, that's what I wish I got that point across a little further. We want to leave as green as possible, because from what I hear, there's somebody else in the process of purchasing property for nature preserve, and they're leaving all that green also, okay? And what our intentions are, Mike's got some specs here up to the side of the one drawing you have, is, you know, the building, which is going to be up by the market, or by the fire department and market, is only, you know, with the parking lot in the building is 0.9 acres, you know, a little under an acre. And then the range is probably going to take 3 to 4. And we're not putting your typical get out there and drive the ball 300 yards. We're leaving a lot of obstacle things that it's going to be unique in of itself. It's going to be different. It's not going to be, you know, like you go out to Skyland Pines and you see how they got, you know, 300-yard marker and big field. It's not going to be like that. I've got a lot of golfers that are staff of mine that golf at Walsh, and one is actually going to be a big part of designing it per se, and we're going to leave a lot of trees. So you'd be like, you know, sort of like a simulated course. You know, you have target points to hit. So yeah, we're you know, I want to leave as much green as I possibly can. You know, and I'm not trying to beg on that, but I'd say, you know, between 3 to 4 acres is what that's going to take. So the rest of the acreage is going to be left natural. You know, I might put some walking paths or something like that.
Yeah, I understand that. I was concerned about that 100-foot between her property as well as that tee box, to make sure that you're gonna maintain that landscaping or the trees that are.
Oh, yeah,
there.
everything, you know, that's when I stopped and talked to them, this whole section back here, we're not doing anything with it, you know, that affects, you know, back.
If you could
100 feet.
identify yourself, please.
I'm Mike Kettler, Kettler Engineering,
Address?
1225 North Main Street, North Canaan, Ohio.
Thank you. How about loudspeakers? You're not gonna have any
No.
loudspeakers?
No.
Is that
The
correct?
driving range is gonna have no lighting, it's gonna be a daytime activity only,
Okay.
okay? No lighting at all?
No lighting, no sound system?
Nope.
There could be lighting for the parking lot.
Well, yeah, I
And
understand that.
it'll be directional lighting, we'll make sure that there's no creep of, you know, no escape of light off the parking lot. We'll make sure that, you know, we do an analysis of that.
I don't have any further questions right now.
In terms of those that will use the facility, you say possibly the 33 from the homes that you already have established?
Yeah, yeah,
But then this is open to the community as well,
right,
right?
yes.
Do you intend to do any advertising in terms of bringing others to the facility?
I think it would be more of a, you know, with the driving range thing, it could be more word of mouth, you know, the indoor, you know, in the rec center, you know, we're gonna use it for, you know, for the community. You know, if school wants to come in and, you know, use the gymnasium or whatever, you know, rented. It's not gonna be exclusively just for the agency, no.
Okay.
We're gonna offer it to
That's where I'm
other
trying to go with
homes,
this.
you know,
Yes.
other group homes at a nominal fee, whatever that is. I'm not,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
not sure yet on how that's all gonna play out.
Let's say once the driving range is established, I myself could go out and use that driving range if I so
Right,
choose.
yeah.
We're not keeping it agency bound.
No. It's gonna be you know, it's gonna be like your average range, you know, you come in, pay for a bucket of balls and, you know, you go ahead.
And then in terms of you trying to keep it as green as possible, without looking through it very astutely, I should say, that advertising, are you gonna have a big sign, a lit sign?
Whatever the regulations will allow me to do, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not planning on putting a big illuminated sign out there. It could perhaps be a non-lighted sign, you know, just a small, nice wooden sign, you know, just out on, you know, off a market there.
And then one last thing, and as it regards to your residents in your homes, will there any work be done here?
Oh, yeah, this is what we're actually intending to use it for, it's gonna, you know, give the individuals employment opportunities, you know. Like, we've got boys that are, you know, functional enough that they could drive a golf cart around with a ball collector on it.
Then any other type of work activities, in other words, doing the mailings for the chamber, or, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
There will be like work rooms that they could use to
Yeah.
utilize for
Right.
doing work,
Yes.
busy work, and for
Not
their
just busy
attributes,
work,
for
yeah.
their attributes.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of things I have planned for the inside. I've always wanted to have a place where I'd have the resources to do a lot of things. I had a program in mind that I've been running around my brain for years called Tap Your Talents, okay? Where we'd have musical instruments per se and be able to teach the individuals, music, find what their niche is. It's very difficult, especially with the autistic individuals, is to bring that out of them. And that is what this is all about. It's about, giving them opportunities. And, there could be a plethora of things that we can do, inside the confines of that, the building, So, we want to have like a little, in addition, like I'll just give you an example. Say for the driving range, perhaps, get bulk tees. The guys could bag them up, heat sell them. We'd have a little like pro shop there. Maybe sell some shirts or, something that they could be part of and see the whole marketing, strategies and, bringing, just a lot of different things that you could do, given the resource there.
And then one last question, I think it was mentioned a concession stand. That would be inside the
That would
building.
be inside, yes.
This isn't outside?
No, that would be inside.
I'm looking at noise levels,
Right,
activity.
I respect everybody around there, we want to keep it as low profile. Actually, when Mike and I first started looking at this, I was going to perhaps put the building back in, where the wooded area, actually, it'd be like a little bit east of the fire department, okay? Not staggered right in line with the fire department. But then when we got to configure, and this was one of my mess ups, I didn't have the real measurements of what this acreage. I'm looking at a Google thing, right?
Sure.
And I'm thinking, that looks sufficient. When Mike started running the numbers and doing the measurements on it, we didn't have space, okay? So that's why this ended up cantered the way it is, okay, on the way we designed the, where the driving range is going to be, didn't have enough depth coming west to east, okay? And, I originally wanted to put the building, tuck it back in, where the wooded area is currently, so.
We also felt that the building and the parking belonged out along the road, right along wherever the buildings that, are located. Trying to keep the back, separated. You're close to the residential area, you're close to this other big park.
Just as an aesthetic, I tend to agree.
I mean, the noise, any noise from cars doesn't bother the building, our building, but, we want to keep the back as open as possible.
I think that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else?
You guys ran this by the Department of Transportation as far as your drive entrance and site distance, because you have a proposed grade in between Langer and Stoneball Street. Is that run by them yet, since it's a state route?
I have talked to representatives of the Ohio Department of Transportation District 4. I was concerned about site distance issues,
Right.
and when I talked to them, they assured me that as long as we located the driveway at the most remote point, farthest point that we could to give us the greatest site distance, they were okay. In fact, they would not deny that they would give us an access permit. I didn't do the calculations yet, simply because there's a mound down below, which is partially blocking site distance. So I did talk to them. I also talked to the county. So we're always concerned that when you first go out there, it looks like it's a possible issue. We'll have to address it when we need to be safe.
Yeah, I was just curious if that means it close to the entrance of the fire.
It just gives us the best position to come out, which is the only reason we chose that.
Any further questions?
I did have a follow-up from Mr. Carroll. During some of your comments, you talked about potentially, packaging golf balls or something for sale. and
No,
things that.
like tees and stuff, like getting ball tees and putting them like 15, 20 in a pack for the golfers who come and use the range.
Okay.
We'll just have like a little stalls thing.
Something for the individuals.
They can do that, plus then they can work the.
Well, there's a provision in the conditional use certificate that basically says that only retail uses which are accessory or incidental to the main recreational use should be permitted. permitted, such as refreshment stands, souvenir stands, concession, but it sounds to be based upon what you're doing, that would be accessory or incidental to that use.
To the driving.
Yeah, correct.
Anything further? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman. Whereas applicant and owner Northeast Developmental Services, Larry Powell, 7790 Market Avenue, North Canton, requests a conditional use permit for an extensive recreational facility on the property located at 7790 Market Avenue North, Canton, Ohio 44721. That's parcel 52-19114. That's a conditional use permit for an extensive recreational facility. Whereas the applicant or representative has appeared in person before this board at an adjudication hearing on the application, and the Plain Township Board of Zoning Appeals has duly considered this application pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 519.14. Now therefore be it hereby resolved by the Plain Township Board of Zoning Appeals to grant the following: a conditional use permit for an extensive recreational facility.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
I will second that, Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion, such as finding of facts, practical difficulties?
Based upon the testimony given by Mr. Powell as well as Mr. Kettler, essentially what we've got to do on a conditional use certificate is simply see if they meet the certain requirements that are specified in the regulations. And based upon the clear and convincing evidence and the testimony, I do think they've met that. There are approximately 10 items, some of which are all structures and activity areas should be located at least 100 feet from the property line, as long as they meet that requirement. They've met it. Loudspeakers have indicated that they're not going to be any loudspeakers. All points of vehicular entrance should be located no closer than 200 feet. They've met that. No more than one advertisement located on each abutting road. Seems like they've met that. No lighting shall constitute a nuisance. They've had testimony that that's not going to happen. Such uses shall be properly landscaped to be harmonious with surrounding residential uses. That was part of my question relative to, what buffer area are they going to have to that area, because that's the closest to the residential neighborhood. And I would be in favor of granting the conditional use certificate as long as we can put in a requirement that 100 feet be maintained in its natural state, or if anything's removed, that it be continuously landscaped and maintained to protect against the abutting residential neighborhood. This is granted for a 1-year period of time, ma'am, just so you know, the neighbors, to the extent that they fail to meet any of the requirements, the Board of Zoning Appeals can revoke the permit. They also have to obtain all county, state, governmental permits before any permit is ever issued. And so, from my standpoint, I do feel the testimony that they have met at least the requirements that are laid out. As long as they meet those, we have an obligation to at least grant the permit. So that would be my position, solely my position.
Thank you, Mr. Souls. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Busalides?
Yes.
Reinkel?
Yes.
Souls?
Yes.
Beck?
Yes.
Sutton?
Yes. Motion passes. You have your conditional use permit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who seconded? Tim.
Good. At this time, there is no meeting scheduled for September, however, that can possibly change. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Roll call vote.
Busalides?
Yes.
Reinkel?
Yes.
Souls?
Yes.
Beck?
Yes.
Sutton?
Yes. Meeting is adjourned at 6:36.
How soon